Today we are going to cover a very important topic that is ignored by a lot of aspirants, and the topic is how to read books effectively. And to give you an example of how to read books effectively, I'm going to go through Spectrum's Modern India. This is a book on freedom struggle of India and some other topics. So I'm going to go through this book. That will also help you to learn how to read Spectrum, and I'm going to also tell you exactly how to read books. So before I jump into Spectrum, I'm going to tell you how to read books effectively for UPSC, and this will also help you to read other books effectively if you want to. So let me take the Spectrum out from here and let me go into the notes that I have made for you for how to read books effectively. So here from these notes I'm going to tell you exactly what are the reading goals that we need to have for UPSC in order to increase our reading effectiveness. So first let me tell you the few goals that we should have in mind. First is that we want to read faster, because the UPSC syllabus is so vast that we need to read fast. We need to read fast enough, but not too fast also, but we need to just read at an appropriate speed that we are able to cover the entire syllabus. See, if you are only able to read 4 to 5 pages per day, that is very less. If you only read this much, you are not going to be able to cover such a huge amount of syllabus in the amount of time that we have, that is 1.5 years, right? So you really need to increase your speed to at least 40 pages a day, and maybe more than that, to be able to complete the UPSC syllabus. So reading faster, but also reading at the same time critically and understanding things is the first goal. The second goal is that you want to have conceptual clarity. So if the conceptual clarity of what you are studying is high, then you will be able to do mains answer writing really well. And also you will be able to answer a lot of questions in prelims more easily if your conceptual clarity is high. That is really key. So this is the second goal. And the third goal is you want to be able to retain information and revise effectively. Okay. So of course you can't just have conceptual clarity. Apart from that, you need to also read a lot of information and retain it for a longer period of time and be able to revise effectively. So to achieve these UPSC goals, reading goals, these are the various steps you can include, or you can kind of add to your current reading schedule that you have, so that you can read more effectively. So what is the first one? The first one is that get a general overview of the topic from internet or YouTube to understand the overall things that you're studying. So whenever you start a book or whenever you start a chapter, definitely the first thing, you should not be just jumping into the book. Just go and search about the topic. So for example, if you're studying a chapter on civil rebellions that happened before 1857 in India, just don't go ahead and start reading from Spectrum right away. First, do your little bit of your own research for around 30 minutes to understand the bigger story of what happened in the civil rebellions before 1857. So you can do quick internet search, you can do quick YouTube search and see, or you can read the summary from the book at the back of the chapter to see what exactly is the big theme, what is the big story, what is the general overview. That will help you to really get a hold of what you are studying. The second thing is that then after that you've read the general overview for around 30 minutes to an hour, then you start going into the details of the chapter. Then you start studying the chapter. That way you will be able to retain more, you will be able to read faster, and you will have a better clarity also. Okay, the second thing that we have discussed now. The third thing is topic wise do a 360-degree study. What does this mean? This means that if you are reading something, don't just rely on your book. For that topic, do some research on YouTube, do some research on internet, Wikipedia, or from other credible sources or other credible books. So for example, if you are reading Spectrum for history, modern history, do a quick reading of the Bipin Chandra freedom struggle book also on that same topic. So then you will kind of be able to match whether what you are reading is making sense to you. It will also help in your revision. It will help you to retain that information more, and it will help you to get better grip on that topic. क्या होता है जब अलग अलग सोर्सेज से पढ़ते हैं तो अलग अलग थोड़ा सा आपको मोनोटनी जो होती है the monotony which is there in that topic, that gets broken up. Okay, so one of the keys to reading more effectively, retaining information, is that you should read topic wise, not chapter wise. And topic wise, you should also do research from other sources. And it doesn't have to be very extensive. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है you will be studying for hours and hours for one chapter. If your goal is 40 pages per day, then half an hour to 1 hour you can devote to other source to match those 40 pages topic that you have read. Okay, so that is very important in order to create the links in your mind. Okay, the fourth one is that noting. How to do noting in the book, whether to use the book margins, how to do the paper notes, that also I will tell you, but I will tell you with the Spectrum book later. Okay, and these are the 6 things that you need to note in the notes that you're making. Basically, I have called them the 6 musketeers: what, when, where, how, why, who. So these are the 6 things you should definitely be keeping in mind when you're reading a book, because this is the gist of everything. And this is what you need to remember for UPSC. And other than that, also look at problems, shortcomings of that particular topic that you've read. Okay. The fifth thing is mental hooks. You need to create mental images. You need to create mental maps, diagrams, flowcharts, etc. in order to remember things. Otherwise, you will not be able to retain. So mental hooks are very important for retaining information. And I will give you more examples of that in this video. And finally, your finger and eye movement, how you can use a finger and eye movement to enhance your reading skills, I will also tell you. So these are the 6 things that you should focus on while reading. I put them here. You can stop my video, look at them, try to understand them while I tell you through a live example from a book. Okay. Now I'm going to go into the book, the Spectrum book for modern India, and tell you specific examples of how to implement the various strategies or various points I've given you about how to read effectively. So this is the book. See, I have here a normal pen. This is a Reynolds Trimax pen. You can use this also for your preparation. I have a pencil to note in the book. If I need to, I can use pen also to note in the book. There is nothing wrong with that, but pencil will be better. I have an eraser. I have a sharpener. This I also used to always have at my disposal. I have a red pen in case I need to note something differently. You can also use stickies. A lot of people use stickies to mark in the book where is what, and that is also a very good strategy or a technique, not really a strategy but a technique to use. Okay, so here first of all I always look at the table of contents. So if you look at the table of contents here, you will see there are a lot of chapters that starts with sources and approaches, that what are the sources of history of modern India, you can see here. Then you will also see what are the major approaches to the history of modern India: colonial approach, nationalist historiography, Marxist historiography, communist approach. All these different kind of approaches are there. Do we need to study this? If you look at the old UPSC papers, you will get an idea that we need to not study any of this. Okay, ये सब पढ़ने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. So you can skip this because these are never asked in the exam. Now, advent of Europeans and consolidation of British power in India. This is very long. It starts from 20 page number and ends at 80. So these are 60 pages. But this is not a very important topic. If you look at the old UPSC papers, this topic has never really been asked that much. Only very few, sometimes one question will come. So I can skip this for now. I can come back to it later when I have time. Right now I want to first focus on things that are going to yield me marks. Okay. So now I go ahead. Again, I skip all this because this is not that important. Doesn't appear in the exam that much. Rising resentment against company rule. So this is from where you can start your preparation, because these questions often come in the exam, have been seen in the past few years in the exam. So you can really skip 137 pages right away. You can come back to them of course later, but agar time ka thoda shortage hai, if you don't have enough time, you can skip them for the time being because these are not that important. So I've come back to 137 and people's resistance against British before 1857. So first of all, what I will do is count the total number of pages I have to study in this book. So you have to read until 626 number, because after that the book is about independence and after. So after independence, what happened in India? So that you can come back to for mains, because this is not part of the prelim syllabus. So if you come 626 and 137, around 500 pages you have to read. Same number of pages are there in Bipin Chandra also about. So 500 pages, if you read 40 pages per day, you can finish it in around 15-20 days, right? So let us go ahead and start our preparation from here. So we will see chapter 6, People's Resistance Against British before 1857. This is the People's Uprisings chapter, and we will go through this chapter to give you a sense of how I do my readings. So I go to page number 137. This is the chapter. It gives you, so if you go to the end of the chapter right away, in some books the summary of the chapter is given. So here the summary of the chapter is given, where they have given factors responsible for people's resistance. What were the reasons why people's resistance was there against the British? They have given the reasons: colonial land revenue settlements, growth of intermediary revenue collectors, end of the patronage of priestly and scholarly classes, foreign character of the British rule. All these are the different reasons, and of course you need to know these, because only then you will understand what is going on in the chapter. So if you just quickly read this, it's only 2 pages, it'll take you 10 minutes to read. So if you quickly go through this, even if you don't know anything about this chapter, it will help you to read the chapter better. So summary पढ़ लीजिए, या फिर you go to YouTube, to any channel where history is covered well, or you go to Bipin Chandra's book and go through that book quickly. If there is anything you can read from that book, but अगर दोनों पढ़ोगे तो टाइम ऑब्वियसली ज़्यादा लगेगा, तो उससे अच्छा है कि आप इंटरनेट पे सर्च कर लीजिए. So you do a quick search on the internet, go and read the Wikipedia page or some credible sources. Like there will be some page by some university, recognized university, there will be some page by some government agency, some good blogger, or someone some credible source you should go to on the internet and read quickly 1 or 2 pages about the uprisings that happened, people's uprisings that happened before 1857 against the British. That will give you a good idea what you are going to get into. Okay, so that is the first thing. Get a general overview of the chapter. Then you start going into the details and start reading the chapter. So here, if you read the chapter, it's very well written here. They have given the meaning of the people's resistance, what are the genesis, how it started, what are the causes or the reasons, and then they have given major different kind of uprisings. So as you go through this chapter, you need to make some notes. So you can make notes here on the margins. यहाँ पे margins of course ज़्यादा नहीं है, यहाँ पे space बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है. So you can do is you can mark it like this is important, right? Instead of highlighting, you can mark it that this is important and put a sticky here. So that way you will remember. Similarly, you can underline some important parts. Let's say if here you're talking about polygars, so you can highlight this polygars, holders of territory, right? So these are the polygars. You can highlight with a highlighter or pencil also that these are the polygars. And you can write that word here so that you remember to read it. So key terms you can write on the margins of the book, or key years or something. यहाँ पे ज़्यादा यूपीएससी के लिए years याद करने की जरूरत नहीं है, but estimate idea होना चाहिए. So important civil uprisings they have given here. Sannyasi, तो सन्यासी civil rising, civil revolt उन्होंने दिया है. Then they have given the names of the leaders. So you should remember the name of the leaders. So let's say if you go here to Polygars revolt, okay, Polygars revolt. So here just underline the name of the person who, or the centers where it took place. So underline that. So the main centers of these strong uprisings were Tinnevelli or Thirunelveli and Ramananthapuram, Sivaganga, Sivagiri, Madurai and North Harcourt. So just kind of places. See here I have written places. So jahan jahan pe hua tha, then I can come and read it that these are the places that this Polygars revolt took place. So this is how I make my notings in the book of different things. Now same thing, how do I note in my notes, in my paper notes that I will show you. So here is the example. Here is the example of how to make notes. Here first of all I have written the chapter's name. Chapter 6, People's Resistance Against British Before 1857. Well, to be honest, you don't need to make notes from Spectrum because Spectrum is already in notes format and the summaries are given at the back of the chapter, which are very good. But let's say as an example, you're doing this for any other book. You can write the chapter name or the topic name here. Then after that, you can write the 6 musketeers that I told you about: when, who, why, how, where, what. These main topics you should cover. So when, approximately from 1750s to 1857. See, you don't need to remember exact date, that when did Polygar revolution happen. That is not required. That is not the UPSC requirement. UPSC never asks for dates. So you can just write approximately. In your mind there should be a picture, there should be a story that 1750 से लेके 1857 तक there were various uprisings in India in different places, and they were done by different people. Okay, so these various revolts I've written here, approx this period this happened. Who were the main people behind it? I made this small chart sort of a thing. Number one, tribals. Number two, farmers, peasants. Number three, military. And number four, civil or polygrars, landlords, etc. These are the four kind of people who revolted against the British during those times. And further subnotes here I have created. See that within tribals, which were the different tribes. Within tribals, there were different tribes: Chuar, Kol, Munda, Santal, Bhil, etc. So there were a lot of tribes, and you can write them here. And then further, you can write about farmers. कहाँ पे, which areas farmers were revolting. Then you can write the reasons why. Because of policies of the British when it came to land collection, land revenue collection. So that was one reason, right? Then there were money lenders who used to exploit tribals, etc., and they were supported by British. So these kind of 4 or 5 reasons, factors that are given in the book. So these are already given in the book. You can write them here and you can remember that way. For spectrum, you don't need to do that because spectrum is already in notes format. So here you will see spectrum के notes बनाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है क्योंकि already this is given in a nice notes format and you can quickly read it. But see, they have given so much data about one resistance. All this is not needed. ये सब पढ़ने की आपको कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है, इतना सारा कुछ पढ़ने की. इसमें से मेन who were the leaders, okay, where did it happen, what were the key factors, 1 or 2 factors about this that you need to remember. See, most of the civil rebellions, people's rebellions, you can club into main reasons, which were land revenue policy, money lenders. These were the reasons for most of the civil rebellions. So you don't need to remember reasons for different unless they are very different. तो इसमें keywords होते हैं. जैसे last year they had asked about Munda rebellion. They had asked a question about Munda rebellion. Let's see if I can find it here. And in that Munda rebellion, they had asked about Ulgulan. Ulgulan was a call by the tribals. I'm not able to find it here, but here I'll show you. Here, tribal revolts. They have not given it here. So if you read the letter, if you read the book, then in the chapter it is given. I'm not able to find it right now. In the Munda rebellion, the Ulgulan is an important term. So all these important terms you should remember. You don't need to really remember the years that closely. You should remember the leaders and if there was a separate different kind of a cause that led to that movement. But most of the movements were actually happening because of the fact that British policies were bad and money lenders, etc., were exploiting, and these factors are given in the beginning of the book here. So this whole book chapter of 30 pages can be really summarized in maximum 2 to 3 pages. 1 page, 2 page, 3 page. You can completely summarize this entire chapter. और जो मेरे history के notes हैं, I have uploaded that. You can download them from the description link. You will see how I used to summarize a lot of these chapters. So you can make these notes on paper also. You can make these notes in your iPad or on your laptop or wherever you have access to any software. So you can also do that. So this is how you study. And now I hope you get an idea about how to study spectrum also from this lecture. So the third thing is about basically how do you retain more information by doing 360-degree study or topic wise study. Basically what I mean by this is that whenever you are studying a topic, let's say you have taken a revolt of 1857 or you have taken up civil uprisings before 1857. So don't just stick to the book that you're studying. Do a quick YouTube search or do a quick search on internet. Look through credible resources like Wikipedia. Look at other credible sources of some university website, some good blogger, some government website where something is given about that topic. So if you read from other sources also about that topic, it will give you a better idea about that topic. You will be able to retain more. You will be able to do a 360-degree study of that topic. Don't spend more than 1 or 2 hours doing that. For every topic, basically do 30 minute to 1 hour quick research about that on other topics also, on other websites or other sources also. So that will give you a 360-degree view of the entire topic, and you can make those notes in your notes as well, on the paper notes or on the soft copy notes that you have. So that is my other advice. The next is that you can use the book margins for notes that I have already shown you in the book. Then after that, we have already studied this mental hooks. This is very important. See, mental hooks are basically these different things that help us to remember and retain more information of what we have read or what we have seen. Normally, when we read something, it is harder to remember that. But if we have formed an image of that in our mind, if we have formed a flow chart or some sort of a process in our mind about it, then it is easier to remember. Just say, for example, I will give you a very simple example from daily life. If you are going somewhere sitting with a friend behind a bike or in a car, and if they take you to a new